All right, welcome everyone to quarter 2 of the quarterly dairy legal webinar. Our focus topic this quarter is the administrative process to establish and amend federal milk marketing orders. My name is Audrey Thompson, and I'm a staff attorney here at the Penn State Center for Agricultural and Shale Law. And before we get started, I'd like to thank our partner, the National Agricultural Law Center, for sponsoring this webinar. The National Ag Law Center at the University of Arkansas System Division of Agriculture serves as the nation's leading source of agricultural and food law research and information. And this material is provided as part of that partnership and is based upon work supported by the National Agricultural Library, Agriculture Research Service, U.S. Department of Agriculture. All right, I will now turn this webinar over to Chloe Marie, our research specialist, and she'll start with a roundup of legal dairy developments for quarter 2. Chloe, the screen's all yours.
Thank you, Audrey. All right, well, today we will be diving into some key developments in the dairy industry from April to June of this year. The world of dairy has seen various updates and decisions that impact not only producers, but also consumers. So first, we'll explore the ongoing impact of the Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board's over-order premium continuing until December 2023. Next, we'll discuss the USDA's recent announcement of substantial funding dedicated to supporting organic dairy producers in covering their marketing costs. And shifting our focus to the regulatory front, there has been a notable amendment to the 2021 Yogurt Standard of Identity by the FDA. Additionally, the FDA is reviewing Grade A dairy equivalences from Canada, the European Union, and New Zealand through updated equivalence processes. And on the policy side, the U.S. House Education and the Workforce Committee has taken steps to promote whole milk consumption in schools. And we will also learn about the International Dairy Food Association's Health School Milk Commitment. And finally, we'll discuss a noteworthy development in Iowa, where a new law has been enacted to allow the production and sale of raw milk. And as we explore these topics, Brooke may contribute and share some of his insight. All right, so let's get going with our first item. So the Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board has extended the over-order premium several times in recent years, and most recently on June 21st, 2023. The board decided to further extend $1 per hundredweight premium until December 31st, 2023. So the Milk Marketing Board initially created the over-order premium in 1988 to help dairy farmers during a drought that inflated feed costs. However, in recent years, there have been calls to reform or even abolish the over-order premium, with some arguing that the premium is passed on to consumers in the form of higher milk prices, and that it also creates an incentive for processors to move milk out of Pennsylvania, which hurts the state's dairy industry. Additionally, the decline in the market for fruit milk over the years has made the situation even more challenging for farmers. So the board is currently exploring reforms of the premium and held one specific hearing on the relevance of the premium, but no decisions have been made yet. There have also been some efforts made at the legislative level to reform the premium, but none of them were successful. The Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture also got involved. In May 2022, the department requested the board to conduct a hearing for exploring alternatives to the over-order premium. And more recently, on April 25th, the Pennsylvania Secretary of Agriculture, Russell Reding, proposed a plan in which retailers would collect the entire premium at the point of sale, instead of the premium being collected through a wholesale minimum price buildup, which is to ensure a more equitable distribution of the premium to all dairy farmers in the states. So the over-order premium is a complex and controversial issue with no easy answers. There are strong arguments on both sides of the issue, and it is likely to continue to be debated for some time. Now, our second item. So on May 19, 2023, the US Department of Agriculture's Farm Service Agency announced $104 million in aid allocated to organic dairy producers as part of the Organic Dairy Marketing Assistance Program. So the Organic Dairy Marketing Assistance Program is a federal program that provides financial assistance to help dairy farmers cover the cost of transitioning to organic program and market their products. So eligible organic dairy producers will be granted a one-time payment to assist with their projected 2023 marketing expenses, capped at £5 million per operation. The payment amount will be determined based on a cost share of marketing expenses corresponding to the pounds of organic milk marketed during the 2022 calendar year. And applications opened on May 24th and will close on July 26th of this year. So now shifting to the regulatory side. On April 14, 2023, the US Food and Drug Administration announced the revision of the rule adopted in June 2021, amending the definition and standard of identity for yogurt. So the FDA yogurt standard of identity is designed to ensure that consumers know what they're getting when they buy yogurt. So the rule provided two options for meeting the minimum acidity requirement. First, a minimum titratable acidity of 0.7% expressed as lactic acid, or a maximum pH of 4.6 before the addition of bulky flavoring ingredients. Usually, yogurt with a low titratable acidity or high pH will be less tart and may have a thinner consistency. So the International Dairy Foods Association opposed the rule's minimum acidity requirement provision and argued that both options were impractical and did not align with consumer taste preferences or current industry practices for yogurt manufacturing. The IDFA insisted that the standard should either be titratable acidity of not less than 0.6%, measured in the white mass of yogurt, or a pH of 4.6 or lower measured in the finished product within 24 hours after filling. So consequently, the provision was stayed, and upon reviewing IDFA's request, FDA made changes in the final order. It now eliminates the option of complying with a minimum titratable acidity and specifies that yogurt products must have a pH of 4.6 or lower, measured in the finished product within 24 hours of filing, as requested by IDFA. So the final rule became effective on April 14, 2023, and producers are required to comply with the rule starting from January 1st, 2024. IDFA welcomed the FDA's decision, stating that the prior rule had the potential to halt the production and sale of popular cup-set yogurts, including fruit on the bottom varieties. However, this revision ensures that many such products can continue to be produced while maintaining the safety standards for yogurt. So the US Food and Drug Administration recently updated its Equivalence and Food Safety webpage to incorporate further details about the general process for determining equivalence. So equivalence refers to the process of determining whether the food safety controls implemented in a foreign country offer a level of public health protection similar to the measures mandated by US law. So this means that even if two food safety systems are different, they can still be considered equivalent if they both meet the same standards. It allows countries to trade food products with each other, even if their food safety systems are not exactly the same. So FDA announced on its equivalence webpage that it is currently reviewing the equivalence of grade A dairy products from Canada, the European Union, and New Zealand. And this review is being conducted under the FDA's Systems Recognition Program, which is a tool that the FDA uses to assess the food safety systems of other countries. So now on the policy side, on June 30, 2023, the House Education and the Workforce Committee reviewed House Resolution 1147, also known as the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2023, and recommended that it should be passed. So the bill was introduced on February 21st, 2023 by U.S. Representative Glenn G.T. Thompson from the 15th District of Pennsylvania, and would allow schools that participate in the National School Lunch Program to serve whole milk to students, either flavored or unflavored. Currently, schools are only allowed to serve low-fat or fat-free milk. And the bill also provides that when assessing whether a milk complies with regulations on allowable saturated fat content, the fat in school provided milk will not be counted towards the total saturated fat content of the milk. Now, still about school milk. On April 5, 2023, the International Dairy Foods Association introduced the Healthy School Milk Commitment. So this initiative involves dairy processing companies pledging to provide schools with healthier milk options that meet the dietary guidelines for Americans. They will also limit the amount of added calories and sugars in flavored milk served in school cafeterias, in line with the requirements of the proposed rule for the child nutrition program. So this proposed rule, published by the USDA Food and Nutrition Service in February 2023, aims to restrict added sugars in certain dairy products, including yogurt and flavored milk, in the school lunch and breakfast programs. So USDA proposed to limit added sugars in flavored milk to 10 grams per 8 fluid ounces, or 15 grams per 12 fluid ounces for flavored milk sold as a competitive food in middle and high schools. And as part of this commitment, dairy processing companies have agreed that by the academic year 2025-2026, milk served in school will contain no more than 10 grams of added sugar per 8 fluid ounce serving. And USDA plans to release a final rule for the child nutrition program before the start of the 2024-2025 school year to allow school districts sufficient time to prepare. And Brooke, I believe you wanted to comment on that one.
Yeah, Chloe, let me get my video on there for a second. I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention another little tidbit of information that's in on this website that's dedicated to this program, this Healthy School Milk Commitment website, which is that currently the products that they would have available to be included in school lunches today only have 8.2 grams per 8 ounce serving. So essentially what we're seeing here is that the added sugar does not appear to be an issue with the flavored milks. In other words, that's kind of a red herring in all of this. Really, it's the fat issue that is, at least that there would be any legitimate reason to be, concerned about, because the new standard of 10 grams of added sugar per 8 ounce serving, that's already been met and exceeded. In other words, or should we say the other way around, that's already been, the products are already under that today. So no additional work has to be done to make them qualify. So that might be helpful in this ongoing discussion about GT's bill, is that this is really about the fat content. This is not about the added sugar content, because these products already meet the added sugar threshold. And if you want, I'm going to put the this Healthy School Milk, it's sort of an offshoot of IDFA's website, but I'm going to put this in the chat just so people can go visit it, because I think this is kind of a stroke of genius by the industry to get this far in front of this particular issue. So that's all I wanted to add. Thanks.
Thanks, Brooke. All right, and finally, on May 11, 2023, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed into law Senate Bill 315, allowing for the production and sale of raw milk in the state of Iowa. So the law defines raw milk as milk that has not been pasteurized or met grading requirement as per Iowa law, and only allows for the production and sale of raw milk on raw milk dairy farms with a maximum of 10 dairy animals actively producing milk at any given time. And the law also requires that raw milk be labeled with a warning that it is not pasteurized or graded. Additionally, it prohibits producers from selling raw milk or raw milk products that exceed a coliform count of 10 colony forming units per millimeter, and requires that dairy animals involved in raw milk production undergo an annual examination by a licensed veterinarian and monthly testing to assess coliform and standard plate counts. So there has been some opposition to this newly enacted law from different parties, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, who argued that raw milk is not safe to drink and can cause food poisoning. All right, so that is all for today.